Hi, Gina. So, hello, everybody out there in the Ethernet. This here today I have with me is Gina Eiford. I had to make sure it was Eiford, not Eiford, because she was just telling me she has a client with the same spelling who pronounces it Eiford. So, Gina Eiford is here with me today. Just a little heads up, we are having a little bit of technical difficulties. We're hearing her great, but her Wi-Fi is getting improved this week, just not quite yet. So she might freeze a little bit, but hopefully you'll be able to hear everything amazing that she has to say to us today. So Gina here is a postpartum doula. She is a wife, a mom, a Pilates instructor as well. And she also does some cool things. Okay, you have to tell me what this is called. Stretch. It's a stretch therapy. I don't have it on your...
Posture stretch therapy.
Stretch therapy. So she does that as well, which I'm actually interested in learning more about because I don't know a whole lot about that. And as a chiropractor, obviously, we talk a lot about posture and stretching and, you know, being active and all those things. So I'm interested in to know what you do about that. Gina has a couple of kids now that are older. Are they teens, early 20s? Is that right? But they're about 7 years apart.
Yeah, a 23-year-old and a 16-year-old.
There you go. So she's been a mom for a while. She's got a lot of experience, and she's just recently undertaken the doula world as a postpartum doula. And I'm excited to have her here to talk a lot more about that and about the support services that she offers for women who are maybe having some fertility challenges or going through IVF or things like that. So Gina, welcome. Fill in the blanks there. What all did I miss? I kind of did the real quick Cliff Notes version of your bio. What do you want to share with us?
Well, yeah, that's pretty much really accurate. I am fairly new to being a postpartum doula. I kind of stumbled upon it, and it's been really great for me. It's been a perfect fit, and I love it. And I've been a Pilates instructor for, gosh, I don't know how many years, and I love that too. So I feel really lucky. I'm in a good place right now where I'm doing work that I really love.
So tell me and tell...
Are you there?
I am. Can you hear me? I can hear you, Gina.
I can't hear you or see you.
Oh no. Yeah, we're having some technical difficulties. Let me see if I can get a hold of her. I'm just going to ask you about postpartum doula. What is a postpartum doula? How does it differ from a birth doula? So Gina's just trying to get back on here, and I'm sure she'll answer that question real quick. Hey, Gina.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. We can hear you. I was like, I can't get to you.
I know. I couldn't see you. I needed your face to help.
I know. I'm going to be texting you questions. You can just keep talking.
Oh, yeah.
I know. Technology is great when it works, and it's so frustrating when you have troubles. So I was going to ask you about postpartum doula. What is a postpartum doula? How is that different from a birth doula? Tell me about that.
A postpartum doula works with families after the baby is born. And depending upon what the family is looking for, we can help right after the baby is born in the hospital. And then we go into their homes and we help them with everything that has to do with having a newborn. And this also, you know, of course, we're centered around the newborn, but because that's where everybody's centered. But it's really, a lot for me anyway, about the moms and the dads, or the birth mother, or whoever it is. I'm really trying to help build the family and help the family, support the family in this time. We're like a birth doula, we don't do anything medical. Our services our support is not centered around that. Our support is about emotionally and physically being available to families when they are transitioning in this really amazing and incredible time.
Yeah, I think that a lot of people know about birth doulas, but not too many people know about postpartum doulas. And the support that you offer is amazing, especially for families who might not have loved ones around, or trusted loved ones, or even people that they get along with very well, or can share how they want to raise their kids. They can have some differing opinions. So having someone come in who supports you in that is amazing. How long does a postpartum doula support a new family?
Typically, it's what we call the fourth trimester. So, the first 3 months after the baby has been born. But it really depends upon the family. If you think about a family that has twins, you're definitely maybe going to be with them for a lot longer. And for me, really, it is really about what that family needs. And it could be, I'm going to be with them until that time, or till my support is no longer mutually beneficial. I'm not going to linger on and, stay forever. But I'm going to make sure that they're well supported and have found their feet, have found how they want to do this beautiful time in their lives.
Yeah, I think some people do have a genuine concern about having someone in their space, whether it's a birth doula or a postpartum doula. And I can attest to it myself that having a doula is definitely not having someone in your space. They are there to support and to honor your space. And I think that's amazing. But I think people do have that worry that they just can't relax and be themselves with someone else around. So how do you dispel that fear or that uncomfortable feeling?
That's an excellent question. And I think that starts at the very beginning when I first meet a family. And my goal, the reason why I do this work, is because I want to help parents find truly who they are as parents. And so I come with no baggage, with no preconceived ideas for them, no judgment. I'm there to support where they want to go, what they want to do. And so to do that, I guess I come with a really open face and a really caring face, and a heart that's open to what they want. And I think some people, to be honest, I think some people have come to this work, even as a doula or a postpartum doula, with some ideas about how they think people should birth and how they should take care of their babies. And that's not where I'm coming from. I really believe that each mom and each dad have something unique, and not only have something unique, but have it within them to be the parents that they want to be. And my goal is to nurture that and bring that out. So I guess that kind of answers that question. I think initially, though, if we don't click, if there's not that connection and they feel judgment or they feel, uncomfortable, then that's not a good fit. So that there's somebody else out there maybe for them that will work. So I have to be honest that not every client is going to be the right client for me, or for, I'm not going to be the right doula for them.
Yeah. So I think that's true in almost every profession. And I think it is honorable that you understand that just because you're not a good fit doesn't mean that there's something wrong or bad about either one of you. It's just, we don't all fit with the same people. So,
right.
So what got you into doing this in the first place? Like, what was your passion that pushed you to become a postpartum doula and to support people in this way?
Well, I think that anybody that knows me well knows that I'm a passionate mom. And I guess I actually stumbled upon this work. I didn't really know what a postpartum doula was until I met a woman when I was traveling one time. And I became really kind of, when she said I'm a postpartum doula, And I looked at her and I saw what she was doing, and I was like, oh, well, I can do that. And it clicked with me. And so I did a lot of research, and I started just kind of really, truly following my feet, because I had for a long time been, parenting and being very involved with my children, as I still am now, but I've always felt that I wanted to find something that was for me. And teaching Pilates has been awesome, but it really hasn't been what I really want to do and what I want to give, I guess. And so, I don't know, that's kind of how I came to it. The more I started doing, I did my training, and it just, all resonated with me. I have to be really honest, though, going through the certification process with Doula and with Northwest Association for Postpartum Support in Seattle, it's been so wonderful, because there's a reason we do this. It's allowed me to see, oh yeah, this is why I want to do this work. And I've figured out that yes, it suits me. Yes, I love being a mom, but it really isn't about being a mom. It's really about supporting families and helping families to be the best that they can be as parents and as a family. And to me, that is the best work I could do. And I've searched a long time for something that has that meaning for me, and this is definitely it. And I'm not so centered on the mom and the baby. I really am centered on the whole family, siblings, dads, the whole 9 yards, because I really, really believe that is the future, is strong families. And
yeah, and it seems like their roles are changing in the last 20 years, 10, 20 years. They're starting to switch. Whereas like when my husband was born, his dad really had I have to say, very little to do with the birth process, and very little to do with like the infant stages and the early childhood stages. But the guys these days are much more involved in those stages. So I think they need that support even more, because they don't even have a generation. They don't have fathers or grandfathers that have really shown them the way. So, so it's almost harder on the guys than it is on the women. And then women are much more independent. It seems like this time we have a lot less community and a lot less connections with our family. I'm thousands of miles away from my mom and my grandmother. So society is changing. So having the support is amazing. So you said that you went through your training and they helped to even fortify what you're doing and make even more passionate. What are some of the things, some of the big changes, the benefits that you've seen out of people who've had postpartum doulas? Well, that's an excellent question. Before I actually had the experience of being a doula, and then actually getting in touch with my clients that I've previously helped. But before, whenever I mentioned a doula or told people what I did, and people would say back to me, "Oh my God, my doula was the best thing I ever had," and postpartum doulas, which we don't hear about as much, people would always just say, "Oh my God, everybody needs a postpartum doula." So I guess what I've seen is families being able to confidently be parents. And that, I think, has been probably the greatest thing that I've seen. And I've gone into homes and I've helped families, and I don't know what it would look like to someone. It might look, I think people might say, "Whoa, you're just sitting there listening," or "Oh, you did some laundry," and "Oh, you helped birth the baby," or "Oh, you helped, you showed the dad how to give a bath," and they might think, "Oh my gosh, well, you're gonna get paid for that," but
those little things make such a difference in families' lives. And it just, so I think that's, I've learned the training and being in homes has helped me to see just the little things matter. The little things matter the most, and those little things actually add up to really big things where families are connected and loved and supported, and children are thriving. So I don't know if I've actually really answered the question clearly, but
oh, no, that's perfect.
But that, I guess, that's what I have seen mostly. I guess to be more clear, as I've seen parents really having confidence and actually maybe shifting one way that they were kind of going and coming more closer together as a family and going in the same direction, as opposed to what we see a lot is, you know, dads and moms and siblings kind of branching away from each other when something new kind of happens in the family and they're all adjusting. But I think I've been able to see everybody coming together and getting better. And I don't mean getting better like what I think is better, but better for them. And that's what's really neat.
Yeah, I think people who are unsure of themselves or unconfident in what they're doing, it breeds a level of fear. And then when you have some fear, you definitely have a hard time communicating with others. So it's a snowball effect. So I think you're exactly right. And the little things do make up for the big things. They all add up to being a huge benefit for families. And I think having someone there to help you, whether it's, you know, some people can have a really, really close family member or a friend who supports them really well, but to have someone who comes in who has no agenda or no push on their ideals is amazing. It's amazing supportive. I'm going to switch gears a little bit. I know that
Sure.
you support women with fertility issues who are maybe going through IVF. Tell me about that and what you do to support women and when that starts.
Well, I actually, to be honest, have not helped a client yet. This is work that is so new. And I think I have only spoken to one other doula that I know of, and she's in Portland, Oregon. And she does this work regularly. She helps families, particularly women who are trying to conceive. And so I guess what I hope to do with this work is I hope to not have it be a silent thing anymore. I think you sometimes we can connect it to even there seems to be this silence when women have miscarriages. We don't talk about it. And if we do, as women, the women that have had the miscarriages, when we then speak about it, we feel bad. We don't get back what we hoped we would get back by talking about it, because it's hard to see people hurting, and it's hard to understand that someone has lost something. So I feel like fertility and IVF is kind of in that same realm where we just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And I guess my hope in working with women that are trying to conceive is to have a conversation and to have it out there and to support them and to talk about what they're going through and to have it out, to not have it silent, and be there for them, because I think that they feel really alone. In fact, I know they feel alone. I think they feel like the only person going through it. And it's challenging. It's very fearful. It questions your future is questioned, your hopes, everything you thought is questioned. And so my hope is to be a support person for somebody through that. And that would look like spending time with them, listening. That would look like going to appointments with them, being with them. another voice is always, or excuse me, another head in the situation is always helpful. Husbands cannot always be there, or partners can't always get time off work for that. So, and even if the husband was going to come, I'd still want to go with the husband too. I'm not just supporting, I'm supporting the whole unit. Yeah. So, so that's really my hope, is to have it be more accepted, I guess.
Yeah. And I think people definitely don't understand how prevalent it really is until you get into your childbearing years. It is very prevalent. I mean, most of the people I know have had at least one miscarriage. I'd say the majority of people. And a lot of people I know have had troubles conceiving. And I've known a lot of people who've had IVF treatments. Yeah. I mean, it happens so much more than what we wish it would, or what is in reality. Yeah. And it's sad that people still feel so alone and so judged and feel like something's wrong with them specifically, and that it's their fault. So I think I hope that it grows tremendously for you, helping women in this stage. I mean, I do and I don't. I wish you weren't needed. That there was no fertility challenges and people could just, get pregnant and right. But in reality, it's not happening, and it seems to be getting worse. I even talked to my midwife during I've had 4 children. So one of my last 2 pregnancies, and I asked her if she thinks that she's seen more and more fertility challenges. And she says, yes, she's been in practice for 30, 35 years, something like that. And she says she's definitely notices that women are having harder time conceiving at all age ranges, not even just in the geriatric mother. So we're definitely seeing that. And as a chiropractor, I try to support people and start working with people in the preconception time, trying to get their lives set up a little healthier so that they can hopefully have a little less struggle in this time. And once they do get pregnant, have a good, healthy, strong pregnancy. So
right. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's amazing working with these families, and I'm sure you feel the same way. Of all families.
Yeah.
Tell me about your posture stretch therapy, because I'm interested in that. How do you incorporate that? And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I want to know more.
Well, like I mentioned, I've been been a Pilates instructor for, I guess, now over 10 years, maybe 11 or 12 years. I teach at the Pilates studio of Bellingham, and I'm so fortunate to work with the owners there, Maria and Jeffrey, and they actually discovered posture stretch therapy and introduced me to it. And it's something that we incorporate in our studio. And they are actually the experts in this field. They're amazing. And we teach several posture stretch therapy classes at our studio. And I've been lucky enough to do the training for posture stretch therapy as a teacher. So, and posture stretch therapy it's just a way of stretching. It actually uses a contract and release process. So it's something that you would do, every other day. You wouldn't do it every day if you were doing your stretching. And the idea is that we can just get a little bit more length in those muscles by doing a contract and release. And so we are pretty particular about how we do it. And we're trying to stretch particular muscles, and we're hoping that will then give us more flexibility in those muscles, more range of motion, which really helps us then in the Pilates studio as well. But as we know, really can help in life if you have a little more flexibility. Yeah. So I'm always always stretching, always using posture stretch therapy, in my daily life. In fact, I wish I could get more of it in, more Pilates in and more posture stretch therapy. And it's not something I would probably, necessarily use with my clients unless they asked me to, because technically that would be in my scope of practice as a doula. It'd be another hat that I'd need to put on. So I'd need to put on my posture stretch therapy hat and then do some posture stretch therapy with them. But because I've been teaching Pilates for so long and doing this work for so long, it does kind of naturally come into how I communicate with people. So, so that's a little bit about what it is.
Yeah, we have about 1,000 different hats, right, that we use throughout the day. It's like, right now.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we do as moms.
Yes. So. Moms and entrepreneurs and business people and caretakers and chefs and chauffeurs and go on and on and on.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what are your top tips? What would you tell parents or people who are expecting or thinking about wanting to get pregnant? What would your top tips of, like, maybe the top 3 things you think that they should look into or start researching, or, what do you think?
That's a really good question. I guess before I would start researching, I think I would, and I say this completely without any judgment, I think I would say, take a look at your life for a moment. I think that's what I would say first. Because being a mom, I think I've really seen, and I actually have had the personal experience of trying to conceive. My children are 7 years apart. And so I know that struggle. And so I guess I would start first with saying, take a look at your life and see where there's areas you could have less stress, and where you could bring in some self-care into your life. And maybe not just self-care for you, but your husband. If you have other siblings or other children, even your animal. I mean, maybe just start there, I guess. I don't know if, my second tip would be, I don't know if I would really suggest going on the internet, to be honest. I think, when I was going through that time, there wasn't anything available. I could have used a support group. So I guess that would be my tip, is to find someone in your life, and maybe it is a group of women, or maybe it's a fertility support doula, but somebody that you can talk to. And I think that is probably more important than getting on the internet and going into rooms and hearing these horror stories. I think that's not good for our well-being. And I guess my third thing would be, I would, if I was wanting to conceive and having troubles, I would see what was available in my community, what my options were. But I guess I would probably start first with my primary care provider and see what they suggest from there, because I think this kind of thing is helpful if we work with people that we know or people that we have some association with. So if our care provider knows, hey, I know this naturopath that could help you, or something along those lines. It doesn't have to be a fertility doctor. See where the resources are. But I do think having somebody that can lead you to somebody else is always good. So I guess those are my tips. My tips aren't anything really medical or specific, but that is kind of in my scope of practice as a doula. So I don't know if that's overly helpful.
No, I mean, it's perfect, because I think a lot of people will get bogged down in trying to figure everything out for themselves. So having support around you and having a trusted provider or someone that you can go to and you know is going to support you and give you resources and be there for you, I think are great tips. And stress, we can all, no matter what age you are, what stage you are in your life, we can all look at reducing the stress in our lives and doing some more things for ourselves to create a healthier environment in us internally and around us psychologically. So, I mean, that is the number one tip I give to anybody, no matter what kind of health challenge they have going on, or even if they don't have a health challenge, people are usually stressed out no matter what. So I think those are all awesome tips for people at any stage.
Good, I'm glad. Thanks, Cheryl.
So, do you have anything you want to share that we haven't talked about? Anything that I missed on asking you, or some final thoughts?
Gosh, no, I don't really think I have anything. No, I don't. I just wanted to say that I do think that it's really great that you were asking me about my passion, and this is my passion, but you're talking to me today because you have a passion too, which is helping other people have these resources. And I think that that's awesome. I think that as a doula, that's one of my main goals, or my main parts of my practice, is having resources for people. So that's why I really wanted to come and talk to you today, is because I really believe in that. Not every resource is for everybody, and having those available and being able to see what those are, I think is awesome. And so I'm really grateful for you for doing this passionate work that you're into and getting it out there for people.
Well, thank you very much. I am very passionate about taking care of families and helping them to create a healthier future, because I think if we can have a healthier mom, a healthier family, a healthier family unit, it's going to make huge differences in not only their lives, but their children's lives in the future. So, and I think that people need to know about what doulas are and the different types of doulas that we have and the support that we have out there to offer people to help them, because we don't and we shouldn't do these things alone. So
yes, I agree. So thank you.
You're very welcome. I'm very happy to have you as part of my interview series, even though we had a little bit of technical difficulties. We have a little frozen screen going on, but we can definitely hear everything you're saying. So
hopefully people not in scary frozen.
Yeah, you're looking okay. It's not like a weird looking so that's okay. And people can reach you at lovebubbledoula.com. That's your website. So if you have any questions for Gina, you can catch her there and ask her questions. Or if you are interested in her services, I think she'd be a wonderful person for you to get in contact with. And if you have any questions or comments about the video, you can leave them in the comment box, and we'd be happy to get back to you. Both Gina and I will kind of check through the comments, and if something comes up and it's a Gina question, I can make sure she gets that, or if it's a question for me, I'd be happy to answer that. So again, thank you very much, Gina. I am so happy that you are here to share what you do with people, and I am so happy that you are doing it because it is needed in the community. So with that said, we will say bye-bye, I guess, for today.
Thank you, Cheryl. I'm happy for what you do in the community too, so thank you. Thanks for including me.
You're very welcome. I am more than happy to. So we will say goodbye for now. We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Take care. Thank you.